It is a big deal to train with it.
So if you could put into one sentence what the main function or purpose of a weapon is, how would you describe it? What is it for?
It is for protection. It guarantees our right to protect ourselves against a tyrannical government. That's what it was signed into law for.
So what if this training that you go through, you think that's key?
I think training with anything is key. I mean, you should train to drive better. I wish people would learn to train to drive without their cell phones. But yeah, yes, of course, training is a big deal. It's the best thing to do. If you're going to be responsible enough to carry something of that magnitude, it's your responsibility to train with it right.
Can you talk more about what that training would look like?
Well, I would say, first of all, how to be safe with it and not be pulling it out and showing it to everybody. Hey, look what I got, look what there's a time and a place to show your weapons to your buddies. Always treat a weapon like it's loaded. I don't care if I hand you a weapon and say it is unloaded, you should check behind me. You know, those are the things that we teach our deputies, our children. But yeah, I mean, shoot, don't shoot. You know, I got people that say if they come in my yard, you know, and the law does say that you can protect your property and people with it. But I want you to think, are you willing to take somebody's life over property? You know, I get it if they're coming in your home and they're bothering you, and that is the last resort. And that's what I want it to be, not the first resort. I want it to be the last resort.
What about, how do you see people reacting when we have folks walking around with a gun on their hip? Do you think that it's, when it comes to crime, do you think it's going to have an impact on the amount of crime that we're seeing in Spartanburg County?
Well, I just know that when I made my comments in 2011 that women should get a gun and protect themselves against people trying to hurt them, that crime went way down. So yes, I believe it'll be a deterrent. I do.
Will this change the way you or your deputies approach the job instead?
No, we will follow whatever laws are set before us. Our deputies are very smart people. In case you hadn't noticed and hadn't been around them, I want you all to know that we work with an amazing group of men and women in law enforcement here, and they will just simply be able to approach it as this is just another task at hand. So, you know, it's not going to change how we police at all.
And are there any concerns with the new law?
I'm always concerned with people who have weapons that are not trained with them or not supposed to have them. But other than that, no, I'm not concerned about it.
You guys to track that training that people should be receiving?
I think SLED will keep up with that. You know, it'll be kind of like the CWP, I'm guessing, because it is still very new. And that's how they did the CWPs. They were able to, I actually have to sign every CWP in Spartanburg County, and we do a thorough background check on them. I'm sad to say that not all sheriffs do that, but I know I do, and I know Hobart does, and some of the sheriffs around here, because it's important. It's just important that you get your training, and you're not a violent felon or somebody who's prone to domestic violence or drug use. And you know, we want you to get straightened out before you do that.
Have you guys been receiving any phone calls since the governor signed the law?
No, I have personally from Facebook and just text messages, and the same answer I'm giving you is what I'm giving them. So.
And Will, we were talking to a gun shop employee last week, and he was saying that it would be good if local sheriff's departments, police departments offer some sort of free training to even offset the training needs of the law. Do you or your officers have a plan on providing something along those lines?
We haven't spoken about that. It is a really good idea, but this business owner can certainly make a donation to the benevolence fund so that we can help. And we don't mind helping. I mean, it's like self-defense classes with women or whoever. We'll be glad to do that. So we'll talk about it and see what it looks like.
Sheriff, what about when it comes to ammo and how much ammo you're carrying? You used to talk about, do you see an issue with that at all?
I don't see an issue with any of this. I think this is very new, and this is the reason why people are talking about it for sure. But there are going to be lots of people that still won't carry open. There are going to be a lot of people that want you to see they have a weapon. You know, and that's the Second Amendment right. Yeah.
And this goes to the times that we are currently living in. There are going to be some who are targeted because they are open
not sure I understand your question, my
Okay.
friend. Can you?
So there are some people in the black community that when they will be targeted, they are. What would you say to people who fears that?
Just like we do every single day, we will ensure your rights are protected. But I want, as you just said, the black community to know they have a right to carry a weapon too. They have a right to get a CWP and train just like anybody else. And it might lessen the fact, it might make them feel less of a target. I don't know anybody that targets anybody of color. I don't. And I don't stand for that. And they know that. That's probably why they don't let me know that, because I'm opposed to that. But we will continue to make sure that everybody's rights are protected.
Sheriff, do you expect that you all will be getting a lot of phone calls from folks saying, hey, there's a guy with a gun on his hip and I'm scared? Or do you think that people may feel safer with guns?
I think it's a wait and see. And if that's the case, when they call, we're going to try to set their fears aside. We'll, if we need to, we'll respond to deputy and let them know it's okay. Because we're here to serve the community. Well, I wanted to say this. I've heard it said too by some of the leaders that we have now is, why do you need a 16-round magazine? For deer. And I'm like, deer is not the one that's going to take us over and oppress us. Deer is not the one, that's the tyrannical government that's going to do that. You know, I don't think we elected any deer to be in our government, but I have seen some of the congressmen look like a deer in a headlight. But, you know, we have a right as people to stand and say, look, this is wrong and we want to make this right, and I'm for the Second Amendment. And all the amendments, for that matter. I want to protect all of the amendments.
And to that point, how do you feel about the Second Amendment being the only amendment to, first and foremost, have so many laws and regulations accompany it, but then also it's the only one where you have to go to the government to exercise it?
No, I really haven't given that much thought. So if I give you an answer to be off the top of my head, and I'd like to do that at a different time. But you're right. That is the only. I think the Fourth Amendment too is the one that's got as many caveats to it as anything else, because, you know, that's what they said. Hey, we're not going to illegal search and seizure and those kind of things and enter your home. So yeah, there's a lot of government interference with a lot of things, and I'm for less government. Really less government. I really believe that everybody standing in this group is smart enough to raise your family, spend your money on what you want to spend it on, and invest in what you want to spend it on, not what a government tells me I have to.
Is there anything else like that we haven't covered?
Yeah, just keep praying for the deputies. Everything is good. This is not a bad thing. This is a great thing. So wait and see. Wait and see. It's going to be all right.
Thank you, Sheriff.
You're welcome.